Hello, my name is Maggie, and welcome back to Bent But Not Broken, a podcast where we have honest conversations about life, healing, and realities many people are living but always don't speak about them.
Absolutely. My name is Sharon Lwazi, and I am the co-host and your favorite content creator. This platform was created to tell stories, authentic stories about families, family structures, and particularly today, we are going to delve into the stories that always trend on social media, and there are assumptions made about these stories. And today, we have the real people behind the stories to clear out the rumors.
Yes, and today's question is, which is one of the toughest one. We see them on social media, we see them in different occasions, is where are the fathers?
Absolutely. And often there's a narrative that fathers are absent by choice, they ran away, they do not want to maintain children. But we've never actually given the men a chance to speak out for themselves and actually tell their side of the story.
And there's always this thing, you young people, new thing is that's what it's my truth. You know, it's your truth, and we want to hear it, but we also want to hear the other side. And we also want to put out there that a father is not just a biological person that would say, I, by blood, I'm your father, or by blood, I'm your mother. There's times when that's not your father, and that person is welcome to play the role.
Absolutely. And we've seen stories, Maggie, where men feel like the courts don't favor them. The law doesn't protect them. And today's stories, we're going to go deep into the trauma that certain fathers have experienced. But most importantly, our guests are going to advocate for present fathers and the role that fathers play in children's lives, which I think is very important.
Definitely. That's my favorite part. I am blessed with an awesome dad of my kids. You know, I don't talk much about it, but he's an amazing present dad. But kitching, he doesn't play. He's like, what do you want, baby girl? Kitching. But he's an amazing dad.
People on social media will be saying by thanking men, we're actually clapping for a fish because it can swim. But that's not the truth, because men often don't show up.
Yes.
So those that actually do, let's thank them. Let's give them their flowers for their participation. So today's guests, we are joined by two men who are fathers, and they're going to share their story. The first one is Dingaan Khumalo, that we all know and love, popularly known as James Mutsamai from Movango. We've seen him on many other shows, Mama Zala, and any other show that you've seen. He's been popular. Kellogg's ad, he's done so much for us. But I guess now we get to know him on a personal level as a father.
And our second guest is Lwazi Mafilika, originally from Eastern Cape, raised by a single parent.
Hi, Mr. Dingaan. How are you doing today?
Hello, Mama Morgan. How are you?
I'm good. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself? Besides the TV screens that we are seeing, who is Wab Dingaan?
I don't know. Where do I start? I don't know. Wab Dingaan is a father, a brother, a cousin, a golfer. I'm not sure about this musician thing.
I thought I'm a piano.
Mina bengidlala. Mina bengidlala.
Oh, what a good way to play.
It was an expensive sport, by the way. Cost me a lot. I got nothing out of it. Bangakhohlisa bathi music unemali kulaba abanye thina asazi lutho. Anyway, yeah, but I'm just a simple guy, man, trying to find his way in South Africa, trying to live with others, trying to make do of what I have, and trying to spread love where I can.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And we've read that you actually have registered a foundation, so you have a very big heart. Can you tell us about your foundation?
It's struggling to get off, though. Yeah, it's called DSK Foundation. We used to be invited to schools, and the companies that would invite us to schools, they would bring sanitary stuff for the ladies, for the girls. But when I got there, every single time we went there, you find us giving attention to the girl child. because we're giving them these gifts, we're giving them things for them to take care of themselves. And every single time that happened, I would see these boys mocking these girls. And I sat down one day and I asked myself, why are these boys doing this? I realized, no, this is from a painful heart. That all these guys, all these celebrities, all these well-known people are coming here. They talk to us, but when it comes to the one-to-one now, we're giving attention to a particular gender and we're forgetting the other gender. And I realized, oh, no, Mara, it should be both. If you're gonna bring sanitary pads this side, at least let's bring toothbrush or toothpaste or roll on. When we give the girl the sanitary pads, we must give the boy child a roll on so that at least they all feel important. Then that's when I decided no, but I think because nobody wants to listen, let me rather do it myself.
Oh, so inspiring.
Mm. And today, our second guest is Lwazi Mafilika. I hope I said it correct, Buti. Originally from Eastern Cape, and right now you're in Cape Town, and you have a story that you would like to share with us. As we have said, we have different journeys, and we need to explore them and share with each other. Please tell us more about yourself.
Right. So as you have mentioned, I am born and bred from the Eastern Cape. My name is Lwazi. Mafilika, your average local boy, your next door. I'm a typical average human being. So I was born and bred in the Eastern Cape by a single parent, and upon being in different provinces after my studies in the Eastern Cape, I found myself settling in Cape Town. And I found myself to have had my own family for a while. And everything has hence changed my thoughts, my perspective, my talks, my circle. So basically, I'm just a go as you learn human being like every other South African.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you talk about being a family man. Tell us a bit about your family.
Right. So having been born of a single parent who is my mother, who's my rock, my everything. I've growing up when we had family trees at school, primary.
Yeah.
I've always found it hard to have the conversation with my mom regarding my dad because she was going the extra mile. She was doing everything. I mean, when I was at university, I had a car. It was my single parent. We've got what we call umgidi, a ceremony where you transition from being a boy to a man in Xhosa. Um, we had, I think, about 12 sheep and a cow, and it was big back then. Um, I'm still talking about a single parent here. At university in Port Elizabeth, my mom paid my fees. I did not have an NSFAS. I did not. So being raised by such a hero, it was hard for me to conversate about my dad because it would feel like I'm now going to insult my mom. And I grew up, and so as time and fate would have it, the opportunity presented itself where I got to then meet my dad when he decided that he should show up. We had a very short lived relationship before he passed. And yeah, I then vowed to myself that I will never let any of my children, should I have any, go through what I've went through because even though when someone is doing everything they want, everything you want, you have. You want toys, you got toys. Education, they pay for that. So monetarily, you can get everything, but psychologically, what that does to you as a child changes the whole narrative.
A boy child.
A boy child. And Bob Dingaan, let me come to you with this question. Your relationship with your father, how do you see it translating to you being a father today? What traits have you learned from your father and what not to do or what to do as a father?
Which father are you talking about? Are you referring to? Because now I've got two fathers. Well, I've got a lot of fathers. I was raised by my stepdad, who is Mugabe. If you go back and you remember that my name was Dingaan Mugabe at some point. I would not lie to you. That man is fantastic. To a point where I never knew that this is not my dad. He was amazing. Till today, a week would never go by without him calling me to say, how are you doing and stuff. And I'm talking here about a guy who, I'm surprised this man had all these things from a single parent. I had both parents, but obviously, we had very little. But this man's mom, single-handedly, she did all of these things. I'm very proud. We are grateful for your mom, my brother. But, like he's saying, monetary terms or monetary things that he had all of them, but he never had this side of the father figure. I had all of that. My stepdad brought me up like one of his own. In fact, I thought he was my dad until I realized from people from his family start holding scams about me not being their kid. And then I started sneaking around and being a policeman until I found my dad. I can still say my relationship with my dad is fantastic, but it's not as great as my relationship with my stepdad because my stepdad never discriminated against me. I have no reason to not love that guy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm lucky. I always tell people that I'm lucky. When people are losing family members, my family was added on because I've got Mokebe, I've got the Khumalo side. So instead of losing people, they were added on.
And we'll come back later to that one because I want to know how you transitioned from changing your surname because culturally there must have been something demanding you to change your surname.
Well, first of all, I'm a man. When I have kids, they must take my rightful surname. And that was very important to me. That, including Mukebe, my stepdad, he sat me down and said, now that you know the truth, now that you are older, now that you're working, you're about to start a family, your kids must take the rightful surname. That's the kind of a man he is.
Wow. And Lwazi, let me come back to you. As he talks about his stepfather saying the surname issue, if I may ask, umntana kamalume. That's the scene too,
No, unfortunately, I do not even have any uncles.
Oh, yeah.
Ifemele Gama was only 5 ladies. So it's always been a female dominant family. So I always had to navigate my way through my trials and tribulations to my falls. And so there are some few things that I only grasp now that I'm older. But I never had Umalume, I never had Tatomncinci,
Yo.
stepfather, biological father, nothing.
Are you the only son?
I am the only son of my mom.
Jeez.
Do you have siblings?
I used to. We were only 2 children born of my mom.
Yeah.
My sister is now late, 2013, car accident. And yeah, it's always been my mom, my aunt, that's my mom's sister, and my sister and me. So she passed on, but fortunately she had a son. So that's my nephew now. So I'm now left with my mom and my nephew.
And I sorry, I have to ask Lwazi, where did you get the role of being a man, that image? Who mentored you? Who showed you how to be a father and a man?
I loved what Dingaan had said earlier that he's got many fathers. You know, as you grow, you find a father figure in
Yeah.
different characters.
Yeah.
You can find a father figure from your headmaster at school,
Yeah.
from your preacher at church, from your friends' parents. So I've always been one who, you know, sucks up for whatever I can get or learn from the father figures surrounding me. And I think to an extent that shaped who I am today.
Just to jump in, I think what he's saying is very crucial. You know, some of us, we grew up everywhere. Grew up in Kologoto, KZN, grew up in Senegal, Free State, Carltonville, Katlehong. When we were growing up, we didn't have this culture of uh, kids roaming around and doing whatever they like. Where I grew up, you do something wrong, you'll find an old man that you don't even know. He will whip your ass. And then as you're when I'm done and goopy, he does not even know you. And you will still show him "Utekhaya kupha." He will whip your ass, take you home, and say, I found this boy doing ABC. They will whip you more. So I think I agree with what he's saying, because we had fathers everywhere. We could not misbehave. I mean, where I grew up, I started seeing boys my age smoking when I got to Joburg. Because where I grew up, you could not smoke. Who are you, Bema? What? So we had fathers. I like what he's saying, because we had fathers everywhere. You pass an adult without greeting him, he will whip your ass. Akuyise ekhaya athi bakufundise kanjani, ufike ekhaya athi lo mntana uyangidlula wamfeta hantumedisi. They will still say, we didn't teach you like that, bakushapele bona.
And today we find, I get to be, if it's the mothers being overly protective of their children, because if you hit my child, it's on.
Yeah.
Especially as a mother.
Yeah.
You know what it's called?
Yeah.
Gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting.
It's
There's
this
no
new
one who's going
things.
to lay a hand on my child. Kilite. That's what we're growing up to be.
Yeah.
But Lwazi, please take us through the day you became a dad. What that feeling was like for you.
You know, I became a dad even before the child was born, when the mother was still pregnant. Um, I was so excited. I could feel every bump. I was there throughout the whole pregnancy. It was an amazing experience. And to top it all off, the day our son was born, we had a private room at the hospital because we just wanted a full experience. You know, it meant everything being a dad to me. You know,
Wow.
I went all over and above. So the day my son was born, I transitioned to somebody else. You know, my thought processes started to differ. The way I interact with my peers started to differ because excuse me, I would now not understand how I could become friends with someone who's a deadbeat father.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. You start changing also. So your life, you know, start transitioning towards a certain angle, you know. So the day my son was born was everything to me. I was excited. I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. I was.
I can imagine.
It,
Babu
it was.
Dingaan, same experience when you first became a father. What was that like?
I took my time, eh? I took my time when my friends were having kids and while we were in high school and stuff. Firstly, I knew the situation at home. I knew that my parents are not well off, um, and I'm the first of 5 from my mother's side and my stepfather's side. So I knew that, hey, I can't add. I can't have kids when I can see that even I, as a firstborn, I need to help out to chip in so that the family goes on. So I had my first child after all those things when I started working and doing generations and stuff like that. But to come back to the experience, I don't think anybody can explain it. I mean, knowing that you created a human being and this person is about to be born and she's coming. Well, my first child is a girl, Olwak. I could not put words into it. I don't know. It was just till today. it still gives me goosebumps to know that that was the first person that could call me dad. Do you know what I mean? It was amazing. It's actually amazing, which is why we never understand when they say a guy just packed up and left, and you sit there and you ask yourself, what matter if these are your kids? How do you just leave? How do you just? Which it doesn't make sense when they say a child was found in a sewage at Dampiwa Kemewa. You ask yourself, but you know what? We're not in their shoes.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we don't know
definitely.
what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And on top of that, being a father, personally, they were laughing at me. I say, I don't really know Babu Khumalo, guys. They were laughing at me. That's why I was asking you.
She asked if you're a dad.
A father of 3.
I live under a rock, man.
Sorry.
I live under a rock. So
Sorry.
you're a father of 3.
Of 3.
Is it all girls?
No. It's 2 girls and 1 boy. Olwake,
Yeah.
SJ Siyabonga Jr.
Okay, all right.
And Amahle.
Amahle.
Amahle is a headache.
Tell us, do you do the school transporting, picking up?
I used to, but now with my kind of work, I mean, I live in Harties.
Yeah.
I work in Joburg.
Yeah.
So if Mobango says to you 6 o'clock call time or 6:30, the mother had to take them there to school and stuff.
Yeah.
The days where I'm around and stuff, then I would do that. As much as we would love to be there every hour, every sports day, every dance, every ballet, Unfortunately, the way we grew up, for the ballet to happen, for the sports day to happen, for the school fees to be paid, I can't be there. So I need to be at work. So as much as we want to be there, but the circumstances don't agree.
Correct. And that is so true, because I'm a divorcee, single parent, partially. I attend almost every event.
Yeah.
But I'm in a stage where my daughter will be like, please don't come.
Oh.
Because I'm like, yes, girl. Yes, girl, shake it. Yes.
You are embarrassing the poor child.
Mom,
She's old
please
enough
don't
now.
come. Mom, it's okay. I'll call you when I'm done.
Yeah.
So you get to that. I'm not Mom, Pastor Josie. We like that.
I know. Amatha would say to me when I drop when I could drop her to school, she would say, "Daddy, please get your kiss now before we come that side," because I wanted to kiss her when she gets out of the car. She says no. She says, you doing it here? And then we go around the corner, you drop me off.
But you look like a cool dad, Luz.
These
baby
kids,
girl.
they don't want when you don't know these
they're
kids.
matured.
These
So
kids.
let's go back to you, Lwazi, my brother. Let's get to the crux of the story. Now your child is born. You did everything that a father should do. Tell us what happened from that point to this point with where you are.
Right. So I'm gonna try and keep it as short as possible because it's quite a lengthy conversation. So before my child was born, the mother and myself, we had somewhat of a fallout because something had happened in the relationship, and I just endured because when you ladies, unfortunately, when things are not going your way, you cry your way out so that the gentleman in the relationship will try and see things your way, or will have pity on you. So she would cry a lot, and she was pregnant, and I avoided that situation where she would cry a lot. So I endured until the child was born. Then 2 months after the child was born, I had to end the relationship because what we faced, the relationship just could not go on. So 2 months after I had broken up with her, that's when the problems actually started. So now you're breaking up with me, so you're not gonna see the child.
Ay.
Typically so. But yazi babdingane, it's nice ukuthi umuntu umbethe ngesikolo ngomthetho.
Yeah.
So I used the law to my advantage. So the first thing I did, I went to court and I got my rights to be recognized by the court. Because remember, I think in South Africa, you're a dad in 2 ways: biological dad and by law. So yes, the law, the courts have to recognize you as the father of the child. So when I went to court, and mind you, the child's unabridged birth certificate, my name is there as a father, and he uses my last name. We are not married with the lady, but the child uses my last name. So now I go to court after I ended things with the lady, and then I got my rights recognized by the court as the father, and then we started going to the family advocate. Now, upon the sessions of attending court with the mother, well, the mother could see that she's fighting a losing battle, so she just let the child go, and I then lived with the child from 8 months. He was 8 months when I started living with the child as a man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No lady in my house.
Yeah.
It's me and my nephew. Yeah, it wasn't a struggle. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I could change the nappies. I could burp the baby. I could bath the baby. And then the baby grew. And of course, as he grows, whatever differences we then had, we'd try and sort them out with the mother. But you know, from time to time, we would not see eye to eye with the mother. And whenever we don't see eye to eye, she just comes and takes the baby, and this is my baby. So my child had to experience that, which was painful to me, you know. Because literally my child was being used as a pawn.
Yeah.
Fine. As time went by, I started going back to court. I've been to court every other month, Mr. Tingani.
Jesus.
Every
I'm
other
sure all the
month,
judges
I'm
call you
telling
by first name basis now.
Trust me, they know me very well. Every other month I'm in court. If it's not for this, it's for that. If it's not for that. So it was quite a headache. Um, uh, 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 the experience, the mother of the child didn't make it worthwhile for me
Yeah.
because now I have to be constantly going to court. And I learned a couple of things within that period, you know, especially when it comes to talking about the other parent
Yeah.
with your child.
Yeah.
I then learned a lot of things which we'll go into. But coming back to your question, the last straw of when we went to court, I then asked for a DNA. Reason being, whenever we'd go into these court sessions, and I even I went as far as obtaining what do you call this? Court, when you apply for someone not to come to your house.
Oh,
And
protection
Protection
order.
order.
correct.
Protection order.
I had applied for that, and then upon my application, she got notified that I applied for that, and then she also went to apply. But long story cut short, when we got there, she never stood a chance. I brought all the facts, and then I got granted, and she just left. So the lies she kept on putting to the courts as we keep attending these sessions, they made me wonder. They made me dig deep in my thoughts about the character now of the mother. And now, whenever we don't see eye to eye, she comes, takes the baby. It's my baby, not our baby, my baby. So these things start playing on my mind, and I'm thinking, okay, with the character of the mother being like this, it might be possible that this child might not be biologically mine. And then unfortunately, I had to ask for a DNA. And guess what? When I then went for the DNA, now when the court grants you um to go and perform a DNA, ne? If the last name of the child and my last name are the same, there's no need for the mother. There's no need for the mother to be there. So fortunately, in my case, the
The
child
child was with you.
was using my last name, and he was still living with me. This is now 5 years later. So I then took the courtesy to inform the mother that this is where we'll be going to conduct the test, and these are the times we will be there to conduct the test. If you'd like to be there, no problem. I'm being transparent to her. To my surprise, I get to Clicks in Elderly. I think it was Elderly Street, with the child, and we had I think it was an 11 o'clock appointment. We got there 15 minutes prior 11, so we seated in the reception area, and then behind the closed doors is the consultation room. So there's a big notice written, you can't enter unless the nurse opens and calls you in. So I get there with my son. We sit there in the reception area. The door is closed. Guess who comes out some 15 minutes later? In fact, I don't know how long later, because when we got there, it was just me and my son in the reception area. The door was closed. To our surprise, the mother walks out of the consultation room without us, just her and the nurses, and invites us in.
I know you say you're joking.
I'm telling you, if Clicks does have a CCTV footage,
we want it.
please. So we then walk in with the son, and we do the test, the mouth swab test. Okay, no, boy, don't worry. Daddy's got flu. We're just checking if you don't have flu. You don't want the child to have such memories when they grow up. Fine, they do. They conduct the test, and they put mine in a beanie thingy, and the son's, and they write it down, and then they say, "No, we're done with this. We're then going to take it to the lab, and then you shall be contacted by the lab." I say, "Oh, thank you. We're done. We leave." Fine. As we leave, the mother's, "Oh, bye, my son. Bye, bye. Oh, good and fair." When I got home, I sent an email directly to the lab. I've got it here. Like I said, I have every supporting document here with me. I write to the lab and I tell them, look, I don't like the experience. It's rather uncomfortable having the mother walk out and invite us in from the consultation room. And the lady responds and says, "Okay, look, you can come directly to the lab and you don't have to tell anybody." And that's exactly what I did. I went directly to the lab. And to my surprise, she then also mentioned how many of these cases are common, where the ladies take the swab instead of the males.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that
swabs
is-
will
that's
get swabbed
99
most.
us.
Oh my
So they take
goodness.
hers stuff and they match it with the
Correct.
child,
Yes.
and then they put your name in it,
Yes.
Correct.
and then they say,
99.9.
So it comes
Ah,
it
guys.
comes back, I think, about 100%.
"Ah,
do
guys,
This is a new level. Eh?
Yeah,
Guys,
this is
I'm
low
telling
of the
you.
lowest of the
So
lowest.
if like you are not the person that you are emailing and following up on things, many gentlemen just accept the DNA as
course.
is.
That's unfortunately what it is. And prior to me going to for the DNA test, when I was doing my research about this, there was a lady on TikTok who has a clinic that does DNA conduct. And she was specifying on TikTok how 95% of the results always come back negative. I'm talking about married couples.
Yeah.
I know that's, I know the
95%.
stats.
Married.
Married people. And I was surprised. I had a shock of my life. But long story cut short, so we then take the sample, and then the sample is then processed, and then I'm to await the email for the results. It took about 7 working days, I suppose. We were both, the mother and myself, going to get the email. And then the child's birth date was going to be the password. Lo and behold, when the emails came through and I opened that, I went straight down, I scrolled straight down because they've got a bunch of numbers that I did not understand. And it said there, "I am not the father of my child." I named this boy. He uses a name I gave him. He still uses my last name to date. I cut his umbilical cord. Guys, I was there through and through. So I got shattered.
Yeah.
I got shattered. It was very bad. I got shattered. This is now, I believe, 2024. I think it was 2024, 2 years back. The very same day I then contact the family advocate, give her a call. Ma'am, the results came back and these are the results. And I then email them to her. She then responds that no, the mother had called me already. She had told me that already.
Ah,
Okay. So what then? And then she says she'll make the recommendation, and then we need to go back to the court. Remember, this is a family advocate. Now we need to go back to the children's court. The very same day those results came, I got a message from the mother instructing me that in 30 minutes' time, let's meet at the local filling station where an exchange of my child will then be brought to myself. As in now she's taking her child away. Just like that. I could not drive my son there. I had to pack all his toys. I had to pack all his clothes. I had to.
Because you are messing some of us
Yeah.
up. You Buddhi, I don't know how you are still standing here
by the grace of
and
God.
sharing this story.
By the grace of God. I thought I'd be depressed. I thought I'd be, but I made it through. I'm here talking about it. And you can never say you've healed from such. I've learned to accept that situation. And I then had to ask my friend to come and fetch my son and drive my son to his mom.
Buddhi, Babu Kumal, what can you say about? I'm speechless.
What?
Please, like man to man, please.
What's there to say? I mean, my question is, what do we expect a guy like this? Where must he take this pain to? Where must he take this pain to? What must he do with this pain? Has he ever had anybody sitting him down and trying to deal with his pain? I feel the pain that he's feeling now because we're running around, we claiming we've got 3 kids. Who knows? Who knows? This is why, and this is a very unpopular opinion, when they say, what is that test you did?
The paternity
The
test.
paternity, it must be mandatory. In every hospital, it must be by law that when the child is born, because the lady is fine, you know this is your child. I mean, you gave birth to her. I'm told that this is my child. I'm told what must happen to this man and this pain. Worst part of it, the lady that made him believe that all these years the child was his, what happens to her?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Life goes on. She's got the nerve to tell the man in 30 minutes, bring my child.
After 5 years.
After 5 years of this man struggling, bringing the child, worst part of it, the child knows this man as the father.
Yeah.
What must happen to the child now?
And Lwazi, had you already done Imbeleko for Umtana and introduced him to your ancestors?
Not yet, fortunately. But the child had been to my home in the Eastern Cape. But we had not. We are not a very traditional family because the parents of my mom were reverends. So we don't do a lot of custom, traditional rather ceremonies. So fortunately, it hadn't gone that far, so as to perform any ritual or anything for the child. But I will tell you that beyond everything that the bond we share with my son, even today, I've got videos here, guys, where I would ask him to go to his mom's house for the weekend because the mom would reach out. Can I at least have him for the weekend? And I'd be like, no, of course, you're the mom. Boy, your mom wants to have you this weekend, so you're going to your mom's house this weekend. And he'd say, no, Dad, I don't want to go to my mom's place. But I had to then find a way to make him reason and understand that this is your mom at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
Yeah.
you know? Even though the mom is doing all the stuff behind the closed doors, but I couldn't speak ill of the mom, you know? And coming back to what you were saying, Dingaan, regarding the mandatory DNA test, once upon a time that was my belief, until I researched further with law. In South Africa, they advocate mostly for the child more than your rights as parents. So, if in my case, I was doing everything for the child, um, so when we go to court, the court, even though the DNA says the child is not mine biologically, lawfully, he's still my child. So whatever I submit to the court can still say, continue paying for this child.
Yes, maintenance.
You see, I don't have a problem with that.
Mm.
I don't have a problem with that as long as I'm doing this knowingly
Yes.
that the child is not mine.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
As long as ladies, we meet ladies now, they've got kids and stuff, and you still say, I love you and I'll take the responsibility. That's fine. But I know, not with the pretense that this is my blood. He doesn't do the traditional things I do. Ngenza imbeleko, senza zonke lezi zinto, sishisa umsamo, sishisa impepho, uyobika ingane emsamo. I think people should understand. This has got nothing. Yes, it's got everything to do with me as a father, but let me paint a picture to you. I get in a relationship with you. We have 3 kids. These 3 kids, he's my brother. He's got kids. They are cousins now. My mom knows that Usiabong has 3 kids. My sisters and my brothers and my uncles and everybody, they know we've got kids in that family. When these kids grow and you come back and tell me, these are not your kids, do you understand the damage that you've made? Because it's not only to me. You've killed me as a person who thought I've got kids. You've killed the kids because they thought I'm the dad. His kids, they thought we have cousins. My mom and my dad thought we've got abazukulu. It's not only just me who is in danger here. One person has destroyed the lives of about 40, 50 people. Just one. One person. This man grew up with him and the sister. The father was not there. The mother's believing that nginomzukulu. Finally, what happens to his mom now? What happened? Uthi usisi letha umntanami egarage in 30 minutes. He has not told his mom. Nobody in the family knows what's happening. She doesn't care.
And what pains me is that she knew. You know, sometimes as a mother, you can have doubts. No, Dingaan, you can have doubts. If you had 2 guys at the same time.
But why?
No. I'm not saying
Okay.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens, you know?
Right.
You have 2 guys and then you're not sure. It's one thing not to be sure. But I feel like she was so vindictive. She knew. Every time she took the child, she said, it's mine. Knowing very well that I'm looking at this fool go through this whole process, you know?
That's the painful part.
And about Dingaan, I just want to know from your experience, when parents fight, how does that affect the child?
Yo. They always say kids pick up from the parents' behaviors. That's why I would always say, even our grandparents, they would say, if because if you have for an example, if I'm going to fight with, I'm divorced by the way as well. If I'm going to fight with my ex-wife in front of SJ is going to think, this is normal. The day he has a wife, if I beat up the mom in front of SJ, he's going to do the same. If I'm going to drink and smoke in front of SJ, he's thinking this is normal. He's going to grow up, he's going to drink, he's going to do all those things. So it's very important. It's very imperative for us, no matter what we do. I've done my fair share of mistakes too.
Yes.
We are not clean.
Yes.
We are absolutely not clean. But as he's saying, we learn. It's trial and error. There's no manual for this thing. There is no manual. So we do mistakes, we learn from them, and we try to show our kids, you don't go this route, you go this route. That's the only way.
Okay. but I think about I'm like, where are you right now? What space are you at right now? What's going on with your courts? I mean, you say I can't even imagine financially while supporting and still paying lawyers. Like, where are you and how is it going right now?
Most importantly, how are you dealing with the pain?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So, as Bam Dingaan said, my mom was wrecked. She's elderly, she's a pensioner, she's all I have. And the depression or the stress that comes with that can lead her to an early grave. And she's all I have. And we're going through this thing now that I don't have a word to describe. I had to then again try and be strong for my mom because my mom and my son were very close. This was everything to her after losing her firstborn. It changed everything, It changed everything. So going back to court, so after the family advocate sent us back to the children's court, we did not even spend 5 minutes with the magistrate. Magistrate sat us down, looked at the books, and said, "Oh well, I see you received the DNA. Well, this matter is concluded. You may leave." Literally,
Just like that.
literally, it was not even 5 minutes.
Crazy.
What
The
about
whole
the child?
5 years, like the
Nothing
whole
was said
5
about the
years.
child. Nothing. I'm telling you, I transferred.
Isn't it that the court has to protect the child?
Yes.
That's what she said, and she concluded the matter, and we had to then leave so she can attend to other matters. I then went back to the social workers. I had approached a lot of social workers, a lot of attorneys. Throughout this whole period, I had consulted with a lot of different people. So I then went back to the social worker, and she did not agree with how the magistrate handled the matter. But then I thought to myself, I'm not looking to pursue any legal confrontation with the mom. I just want to focus on myself and my healing. And I fortunately for me, I have a very wonderful partner that I've been dating for 5 years now. So uh, she's been my pillar of strength literally throughout this whole situation. And my friends too, they've been a pillar of strength. So I chose peace, and more especially because I was thinking about the child, the well-being of the child. Because now if I'm to pursue and fight the mother in court, it's only gonna get uglier.
And it's gonna drag.
Yes, and it's gonna drag.
Yeah.
You see? So I backed off from everything. I switched off, had some time to myself, and my wonderful partner would book us vacations to Neisner and just to clear the air, and so I'm stronger today. I'm good.
Sorry, Lwazi, have you received any therapy ever since this whole ordeal happened? Because re tlo re, men are ruthless, they're killing us. Men are violent beasts. Whereas we are brewing this anger inside of you, and having a loving partner now doesn't substitute the pain that you've gone through. Yes, she's there for comfort.
Which is why I was saying the pain that he's going through. Luckily for him, as I say all the time, we do understand that there are men out there who are just out there to destroy women, to hurt them, to do all those things. There are men out there who are running away from responsibilities. But then again, there are guys like this. But then again, as much as the ex did what she did, he still found a good woman. So this thing of saying men are like this, women are like this, it's not a blanket thing. It's not a blanket thing. It's not like every woman is like that. It's not like every man is like that. If he did not find, he was badly done by a woman, but he's still with a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like and I want to emphasize it, not every woman is like that. But then again, not every man is out there to kill women.
Yeah.
True.
It's not.
That is
And
true.
also, I think Babu Dingani, it's nature versus nurture. There are
Uh-huh.
men who were brought up to be very
Uh-huh.
good principled men. You know, so no matter what people do, it doesn't change who you are and how you respond.
Thank you.
You know, and I believe that is what has made you attract a very good woman, because you're a good man.
Yeah. I agree.
Some of my exes would disagree, though.
Well, before the incident, you know, I feel
Yeah.
like some situations, they make us better people. Even me becoming a single parent has changed how I see life. I'm more lenient, more forgiving. I've grown.
Yeah.
Yes, and which is what we're about here.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a statement that said, all of us as human beings, right, men, women. I always say human beings because
Yeah.
we are capable, both sides. We are
Yeah.
capable of, a woman is capable of killing
Yeah.
the husband,
Yeah.
the kid, because we've had some few cases of women killing kids,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So men also do the same, right?
Yeah.
Is that we need to heal from our childhood.
Yeah.
Growing up without a father and blah, blah,
Our
blah. Then you
traumas.
grew up being that teen that had everything, but yet there was no holiday with mom and dad, and
Yeah.
being rejected as
Yeah.
a teen, you look
Yeah.
funny and whatnot. And then now you become an adult and this happens to you. This woman does that to you. So you have to get to a point where you heal from your childhood traumas, your young adult traumas, and to where you are. It is so important as human beings to actually create healthy homes, because healthy homes create healthy communities out there. And the fall we see in our communities right now is the breakdown of home. The breakdown of home is where we are as South Africans, and we need to start healing that part.
Can I just add on
Yes,
that?
yes.
You know, I always say, as a parent, the one most important thing you need to have and possess is peace.
Yes.
If you do not have peace within yourself, God uzokhulisa umuntu, a human being.
Njani.
So this experience also showed me, Uguti, the mother of my son. I know for a fact that she did not well at that time. She did not have peace within herself. To an extent that Dingaan, you'd be surprised. She's got a son who was doing matric. So it's my son's weekend with the mom. I drive over. I don't know what I forgot to pack. When I got to their house, everyone is drinking, having a jolt here. The son, this was, I believe, September, October. The son is in matric.
He's writing metric.
He was writing matric, or he was about to start.
Yeah.
But they were all drinking, and she was having my son on her arms, and she had a glass. The TV's volume was sky high. It's such things. When I go to court and describe such things, the court will tell you that we need evidence that this person is not a fit mom. How am I going to get evidence of what you do behind closed doors in your house? And it happened multiple times. And the reason why I got a restricting order against her, she did not want me to send the child to her house now. We then met at the local garage. At this one point, she comes there drunk with her friend, and they start causing a havoc. And the child is on her back. My son is on her back, and she's screaming. She's insulting, throwing insults, vulgar. The son is on her back, and the son is stretching his arms,
Trying to
daddy,
go to the
daddy.
dad.
But when I reach out, she would, and then I had to let go. I went to court. I've got a couple of documents here. When I went to the police station there, right thereafter, went to the police station to say, look, this person is drunk. She came. She took our son, a minor, and she's drunk. They just give you a form and say, no, we'll make follow up. Done. By the time most follow up is done.
But do you see this is the reason why, and the community always says men don't talk. But this is why. Because I talk, You don't take me serious. You're telling me about. I might as well just keep quiet. And I'm grateful to this man. My brother, you're doing well. I'm grateful to this man for opening up, for say a lot of men would be embarrassed. A lot of men would think bazonhleka. A lot of men would think I'm not a man, I'm useless. And yet we forget ukuthi if ngikhulisa umntana okungasowami, it's not my fault. Ngikhulise umntana because I thought owami. I was doing a responsible thing that a father is supposed to do. Unfortunately, I dealt with a wrong person. It doesn't mean all my life I'm going to deal with wrong people, just like he has proven. He's found the right person now. And now this pain, and this is very important, the question you asked, Uguti, has he seen therapy? At some point, I don't know how, but this man needs to deal with that pain because one day he will take this pain. You know, they say you're bleeding on wrong people. He will take this pain on the new partner. The partner has been fantastic. He will take this pain out of her, out on her. And she will sit there and think, "Uri, but men are dogs." I've supported this man, I've been there for him, and not knowing that those traumas you were talking about, because this is traumatic. So, Mina, I'm saying to you, my brother, talking about it would help. Don't be ashamed. Let's talk. Sngamachita. Let's sit down. Mina, I want this man to be my friend. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's open. Yeah, let's talk. Let's open up. I'm thinking, Mena Guti, this is what they say. Guti, talking is therapeutic. So we must sit down and talk. This thing of us bottling in, that's why a lot of men are hobos. That's why a mental institution are full of men. That's why suicide, most people who are killing themselves are men, because we don't open up. We don't talk. Because when we talk, this is what happens. You go there and you say, the results are out, but oh, okay, sharp, done. Masisi thatha umntana wakho bhuti, sorry, bye-bye. Done.
Babu Dingaan, you came all this way for this podcast, and we really appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
And I think we wanted you specifically because you've been advocating for fathers. You've been advocating for men and the healing of men and the restoration of their dignity, because there are men who are good.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So what message do you have out there for people watching this podcast, not only fathers, but women as well?
Let's slow down, guys. We are too fast. This life that we are living, it's way too fast. We are even missing the small things in life. Let's slow down. Take a break. Just wake up in the morning. Forget your phone and Instagram and TikTok. Just take 2 hours to find out, are you okay? Are the kids okay? Just to check the life that we are living. Every single person wakes up and the first thing that you're doing, you're checking how many Instagram followers you have and how many DMs do you have or how many WhatsApps do you. Let's slow down. And I want to talk to my brothers. You know, I strongly believe that for us to get rid of all this violence that is out there, we need to fix the boy child. We need to, because the violence is men against men against women. It's never women going out there to kill men. Yes, it does happen. But I'm just saying the violence that is out there, it's men killing other men killing women, men killing. So if we can think things like, I'm very much against it. This thing, yeah, take a girl child to work. I'm against that thing. It should be take a child to work, not take a girl. Because, like I said, I've got 2 girls and 1 boy. Comes the day, I take my girls, I take them to work. They meet Lwazi, they meet you guys, they come back excited. What is that boy doing at home? What am I? I'm creating a monster out of this boy. When he's unruly tomorrow, when he's doing nyaupe, when I start seeing this boy is unruly, and I'm forgetting that from a young age, I neglected this boy. So for us to fix the society, let's give attention to our kids, not our boy kids, to our kids. That is the Tina Lasikhona manje, there's a lot of damage. But to make sure that this damage ends with us, we need to go back and take care of these ones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the same with you, Buddhi. What message would you like, based on the experience that you've had, for people out there at home and the hope that you can give? Somebody might say, actually, I'm sitting in your chair right now. That's me.
You know, like I said, first and foremost, the most important thing you should strive for is to have peace within yourself as a parent. Because, umuntu angena peace, a child will break a glass by accident.
Mbulal.
You see?
Yeah.
You get me?
I
So
get you. I get
you
you.
need to have peace within yourself, and that way nomdana will adapt to the harmony, and the it'll attract a lot for umdana ukuze akhule kahle. And you also need to protect abantwana. Guys, you need to protect children against your own wishes. You might wish ukuthi lo mntana ndifuna umkhulisa kanje kanje kanje. That's your idea of that child. Study your child. Have a conversation nomntanakho. Mbone umntanakho ukuthi uya kweyiphi direction and embrace that. Sufuna umenza a doctor, ubumbona uyaleka in physical
Sabigazi.
studies.
Usabigazi umntana mara ufuna abe udoctor.
Yeah, man. Because now umntana uphilela your dreams and not, So we need to, it then starts with that piece. And when you've got that piece, the conversation you have with umntana, it goes back to Lando put Dingaan aicho ukuthi leave the phone, ask, are you okay? What's going on? Have that conversation, because Mina, as a parent, when I was a parent, I don't know if it's safe to say that.
Yeah.
I made it a point that my son is my friend.
Yeah.
I bought him a car that's similar to my car.
Yeah. Learning.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
we are friends like that.
Yeah.
So if by any chance I go out to a brine a weekend, and then Sunday, I must take him to the beach. He must also have his day
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
fun. I can't just have my.
Yeah.
That's a principality I installed.
Yeah.
Good relationship here too with the son, and it was amazing. And that bond, I'm really worried about where the child is now, because
Yeah.
that bond it's unmeasured. So parents, please, guys,
To
please.
add on what he's saying, we must not forget the discipline part, because disciplining your child doesn't mean you don't love your child. I grew up, my grandfather used to say, "Mabati bakhuza umntana." Kuthiwa, the soft, what did you call it?
Gentle
Gentle
parenting.
Gentle
parenting.
parenting. That is the worst thing that is ever happening to our society. Where it's the worst thing, where kids can do whatever they want. They can be whenever they. Thina besikhula sazi ukuthi 5 o'clock kumele ube sejaridini. Ilanga. Tsatsi le ka se dikelo se ka jaridini. Now, I'm gonna say it. Mina abantwana bami bengibashaya. As a result, my kids are the most behaved kids. My kids are not going to come to your house and jump on your couches. Now, if you have a child like that, you're not going to want me to tolerate your child. I'm going to discipline your child. My grandfather used to say, just kids grow up to be just adults, to be just people. Because he's just a child. He becomes just an adult to being just a person. So going back to the peace part, I always say, hurt people, hurt other people. If you don't have this peace, you will hurt whoever comes to your life. So as I bow down and I leave, I'm still saying, our kids are our kids. Our kids need to be disciplined. That's why we have kids today. They bashapa the mistress. In schools, kids are beating up the mistress because they are unruly.
Yeah.
Gentle parenting.
Yeah.
Gentle
But isn't it
parenting.
also the issue is that kids are becoming parents now?
Exactly.
Could we also put that?
But hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If a child is writing matric and you've got a 3-year-old or 5-year-old umopepile, you are dancing, you're having alcohol as he made, how do you expect that child to grow up? That's what he's going to do. That's what I said. Kids pick up from the behaviors of the adults. That's all I'm saying.
And also what we've seen is that single mothers make the children their husbands, especially boy children. So that's a conversation for another day, because now we need to wrap up. But that also affects the boy child.
Yep.
Because we, even as lecturers, cannot even call your son to order, because kintat, he's a father. Even when he's a child, that
Thank
should
you.
be reprimanded.
Thank you.
But guys, I think this episode needs a part 2, generally.
I think the producer is gonna kill
Yes, you know, I think we need a follow-up. Personally, I need to know, Lwazi,
No, yeah.
where life took you after that point. Have you seen your child ever again? You know, kufedile, just like that. That's it. That's the end of the story.
Well, up until December, this December 2025. So after over a year, close to 2 years of being silent, the grandma, that's now the mother's mother, made contact with me and asked if we can, the child's longing to see me. And I said, but of course, this is my son. He'll always, and even after the whole ordeal, I was willing to continue and be a father to this child. But then my only concern is the mother who made it impossible when the child was still mine. Imagine now that it's out that the child is not
I
mine.
know we're out of time. Can I just ask one question? The real father, where is he?
I have no idea.
Does she know who he is?
I
Does the
suppose
child
so.
know now who the real father is?
No. As far as I know, he still knows me. They only told the child that I'm working out of town. That's the only explanation that they
And
gave it to her.
personally, when we edit this video, I would like some pictures of those documents to show evidence of things that we've been talking
guys.
about. Because it feels like a movie, like
It's-
Moja Love
man, I can't
production.
believe it. I'm
Oh,
shocked.
alright, guys.
I'm
Woody,
I can't.
we are praying for your healing.
Yeah.
I pray to God, because you are such a good man.
Yeah.
And I pray for the child as well.
Yeah.
Luena Tate Dingaan, I pray for your journey
Thank
as a
you.
father
Thank
and the role that you're going to play going forward.
Thank you.
Because we need you.
Yeah.
We need the work that you guys are
need all-
doing.
My brother, there's a guest house in RTPS. That wonderful lady that has made you feel smile. I'd like to invite you guys for a weekend.
Oh,
I'd like to invite
That's
you.
wonderful. Dingaan.
That
This
lady-
is what we
that-
want.
that lady-
This podcast is about this.
That lady deserves to be praised, my brother. She's doing amazingly well.
And she's incredible.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Dingaan.
No, I'm
You're
going to send
welcome.
her flowers. Please send me her address. She deserves flowers.
And as closing up, we now slowly start asking our guests the same question. When we say bent but not broken, what does that mean to both of you? You can take turns and answer that. We're running out of time.
Okay, well, for me, this whole we've established that my whole ordeal was traumatizing, and it could easily crush one's soul. I could have fallen into depression. A lot of things could have happened. But as a person, you ought to have conversations within yourself. Your strengths, your weaknesses, and I think that comes to an advantage when you're faced with situations such as this. So for me, it was not about everything else, but it was about finding peace within myself again, so that I can continue and be great for the next person also. And just to note also, we then decided with my current partner that we're not going to have children yet. We both want to fully heal from this and not have a child for the wrong reasons.
What was the thingy?
Our podcast is called Bent but Not Broken, and we ask every guest, what does that mean to you?
What doesn't kill me can only make me stronger. That's what it means. What doesn't I always go around and saying, he will never bring me this far to leave me. Whatever problem that I came across from where I was till today has shaped me to be what I am today. So what doesn't kill me can never what doesn't kill me can only make me stronger.
Before we close, tell us, how was the
Aye, 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 aye,
experience
aye,
here
aye,
at Kellogg's?
Leave
Leave me alone.
You were young, spring chicken. You got Kellogg's. Do your
Aye.
kids know who you did an Eddie? Yeah,
My
Kellogg's.
by the way, my kids, they think, to them, because from the day they open their eyes, their father was on TV. So to them, it's normal. So to them, they thinking, why every single time where we go, people want pictures of you? I'm like, but your dad is, this is what your dad, and Amahle would say, but I thought that's what all dads do. Amahle thought all the fathers are on TV.
Can you still pull that move?
Ah.
Michael
No,
Jackson?
man. Can we
wrap
go home now?
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
And I would like to say, if you're watching this podcast, I pray that you get healing.
Yes.
For the children being affected by the conflict between parents,
Yeah.
may you see a better day.
Yeah.
May you heal from your traumas. And I pray that the parents are watching this, and even women,
Yeah.
we are changing our ways and doing better.
Definitely. And remember, anytime you feel lost, broken, you know it's not the end of it, and you can always reach out. We are going to have counseling. I'm sure it's already showing down. We are offering free counseling. You just need to put down the I think there's a pin or a code that you need to use for counseling.
And I
Thank
think
you
we
so
should
much.
offer it to you
Yeah,
as well,
definitely
Mr.
we
Lwazi,
will.
if
We will.
you are interested.
Yeah, we will.
Until we see each other again, this is Bent But Not Broken.
Broken.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.